Hello. All right. We're all here, present
Test.
and accounted for.
Test.
Our complaining about traffic is in full blown. So I apologize for the late start, but here we are and ready to call to order the meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. And we'll start with a roll call. Let's start to the right here. Rayfon Fantone.
Present.
My apologies. That's how, I apologize. Ed Parler. Pat Littlejohn present. Mr. McLean is absent tonight, and we will be welcoming a new board member, Mario Lewis, to our board. So, but for purposes of this meeting, we have a quorum.
Test, test.
Present.
Present. Good deal. Thank you. All right. Kirk or Daniel, was the agenda properly posted and public notified?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So we're going to start with a pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have the minutes that were in your packet, and this is from the Thursday, January 23rd. Are there any amendments, corrections, additions to the minutes? If not, could we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you. So we
Second.
have a motion to approve the minutes. We have a second.
I'll move.
Perfect. Thank you. So I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, the motion passes. All right, so we have an action item tonight. It's a special exception for the approval of a in-home daycare center. And you all have the application in front of you and the packet. So I'll just turn to Daniel, if you can just give us an overview of the request.
Yes, ma'am, Mr. Chairman. We have a special exception. It's for 799 Scarlet Oak Drive here in Blythewood. Let me scroll down here. So essentially, staff received this exception. It's to operate a child daycare facility. Those are allowable usage in the D1 zone district by special exception only. Ordinance section 155.287 is where that could be referenced. The use is allowed provided that the Board of Zoning Appeals determines applicable state regulations are met, minimum 20,000 square foot lot, structures minimum 25 from residential property. What staff interprets of that is that it's at least 25 feet from the next residential property. Obviously, this is a residential home and the daycare be in the basement, but I don't think it's in reference to that. I think it's the adjoining and surrounding. Conditions imposed for safety, traffic, impact on district, and the use is compatible with the district. So with that, staff has looked at the standard industry classification, which is what we refer to as the SIC code, and then the classification of 8351 as referenced in Town Ordinance Section 155.287 does provide for child/babysitting services in provider's own home, child daycare services under the NAICS code 2017-264410. Staff has made the following determinations based on the applicant's application and information. Staff has not determined if state regulations have been met. However, the applicant is here and available for questions on that or confirmation. The applicant's lot size is 0.49 acres, which is 21,344.4 square feet. according to Richland County GIS data. The approximate distance from the next nearest residential property is plus minus 40 feet, so compliant within the 25 feet. And then, according to the applicant's responses and operation plan, there does not appear to be any known safety issues or traffic issues or impact on the district. Their application states that they'll be having staggered drop-off times. There's a driveway with adequate stacking ability and such and so forth. The use is compatible by special exception only as determined by the Board of Zoning Appeals. That would be the issue number 5. So the only thing I'll add to that is we did receive a letter from the HOA that did determine that they were approving of I missed that in the packet, but we do have that we can add. But we did receive that from the HOA, a letter stating that it would be okay with them. So with that, the only thing we haven't really determined is what state regulations in terms of perhaps it would formally be DHEC or maybe the Department of Health or somebody of that nature who permits these things. But I might invite the applicant to come up and answer any questions if the board has any.
Sounds great. Look forward to hearing from you.
Up here at the microphone. Yes, thank you, Ms. Stevens.
And if you would please, for the recording, please state your name.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. My name is Katrina Stevenson, and I am here to apply for the in-home daycare. Regarding the regulations for DSS, I have to pass the zoning appeal process first before I can move forward. So that's the issue. So I can't do anything until I have the say to go forth.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
I'm curious about, because I'm not a licensing person, but I did Google DSS regulations, and one of the questions I wanted to ask you is that it says that they have these different types of childcare that you're applying for, and I'm wondering, this one is called Family Childcare Home, a facility within a residence occupied the operator that cares for no more than 6 children, and the number include those living in the residence and children who are related to the operator. And there are other ones, of course, but those are for 7 to 12 children or 13 and over. So my question is, are you applying with DSS under the Family Child Care Home or some other designation?
FCC, Family Child Care.
Okay.
For
And
the
so
home.
do you have children?
I do not. All my
Okay.
children are grown. They're
Okay.
30 and above. So.
Okay, so they won't be in the Prius, so we good.
We're good. Yes.
All right.
I have one question.
Yes.
I did ride by the facility, and the one thing that I have some concern is that the contour of your lot, just drops significantly down. Is that going to be acceptable for, outdoor play, or are you looking to have just infants who would not be using, say, a playground or outdoor kind of activity? Because, with all the construction going on in that neighborhood, but that's not for me to decide. That's for DHEC or DSS to decide. My own personal thing was, are you going to be just with infants or
Infants.
just
They don't talk back. Infants.
Well, hey, if you can
That
handle
is so
6,
smart.
if you want to handle 6 babies. I would say that also I came in here with doubts, because the one thing that I had a concern about was the HOA. Frankly, if the homeowners association says okay, who am I to say?
Yes. I already have 4 cribs, so is already set up in the home. So there's not gonna be any children above the age of 2. So once they reach that age, they're gonna have to find somewhere else to go. So, but there should be no concern with outside play or anything
What
like
time
that.
would you be receiving and they would be departing, you think?
The needs of the mother.
Okay.
It is mainly the needs of the mother. I'm
You
geared
think
to.
it'd be random, but
It's gonna be staggered, because I don't know, everyone's schedule is different, but the drop-off time, I will start roughly around 7:30 timeframe, until no later than 6. So they must pick their children up by 6.
I have a quick question, and the room that you have marked here for the cribs, that's windowless, I'm assuming, because it's in the basement?
That's correct.
And how far is it really to go from there, if you had a fire alarm go off or a fire, to evacuate those children out from that corner?
Probably about maybe 15 feet. It's not far,
Okay.
because there's an exit. If you see, there's an exit. So probably, we're probably, let me think about, it's probably from here to that door. As far as the
I just
exit.
remember my children were young, they were in a daycare, and they had, it was in the same building I was in, so when we had the fire alarm, we were outside and we were watching them bring the children out. And in the infant room, they basically took one of the cribs with wheels, piled all the babies in it, and they pushed it out like a little, school bus almost.
That is correct.
Of course, they were sort of the big attention getter during the fire alarm, but, having 3 kids of my own going through, and they've all been in daycare too, that was the first thing that sort of popped in my mind, like, oh, how would they get them out in a fire?
I understand your concern. I have 5 myself, so I do understand.
And it's my understanding, if I'm, just from my limited reading, is that, in reading the process, that she is required to submit, that proof that we have approved this. And then they come out and they do all their inspections and address
Correct.
all of the concerns that you guys have raised. But, before DSS will license her, she's got to jump through those hoops.
That's correct.
So I guess, and this is sort of a procedural, statement for us, that if we determine to approve the special exception, with this, we would make it contingent upon her receiving DSS
Approval.
certification and accreditation and that kind of thing, because she will still have to go through that. It's what it looks like, inspections, she's gonna have to have background checks.
Yes, and the fire marshal will also need to come out.
Yeah.
And that's part of the process as well.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I just want to bring to attention to the Board of Zoning Appeals the HOA letter, just so that it's on record and both recorded for the meeting tonight.
Great.
We have received this. She did receive a conditional approval. It looks like those conditions are meet all state and local regulations, as we're mentioning now. Maximum number of children actually cannot see 5. And then signs are prohibited and such. So we do have this, and it is signed by the HOA president. So I just want to bring attention to that.
Madam Chair, just if I might question staff, how many home businesses are in use out at Ashdale's, to your knowledge, Kurt? But are you familiar if there are any?
I mean, I could get you that number tomorrow. I know that doesn't help today, but I believe that there's at least 2 that I know of.
Okay, again, I didn't want to.
And
That eases another concern of mine, because I did not want this to be the first to then.
sure.
Others.
Yeah, there's 2 that I'm sure of, and it's like an online retail, and then the other is some kind of consulting business.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Do you expect most of your clientele to come from Ashley Oaks, not from outside that neighborhood?
Again, that is going to be contingent on the parenting. I don't know who in that, I'm new to that neighborhood, so I really don't know anyone in that neighborhood. So I'm going to provide services to whomever needs daycare for their infant.
So, I just want to say, I appreciated you addressing, you know, the traffic situation. You know, that was very helpful to not think that people are going to have to be parking in the street
Right.
during what could be a busy time of day with other people going to and from school and work. So thank you for addressing that in your application up front. That was very helpful. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, not at the moment.
Do you all have any other questions? Are you good? Okay, thank you. Thank you. And let the record reflect, there are no other citizens present, and no one has signed up to comment.
That's correct.
So, we've got that. So, do we have a motion regarding the, granting a special exception?
I move that we grant the special exception. Is it contingent upon item 1 being the state giving acceptance to her business?
I would think so.
You could do it on condition, sure.
Sure.
Ed, I'm sorry, can you speak?
Please go. Granting this special exception in the event that she was unable to get the license, or if the business closed in a couple of years, this special exception would not follow the conveyance of the property or anything else, would it?
That's correct, I don't believe so, no.
For this purpose purely.
And this applicant.
Right, it dies with the
Okay.
property owner, it doesn't
Okay.
convey with the property.
I
That's a
just
great
wanted to
question.
clarify that. With that, I will second the motion.
Thank you, thank you. So we have a motion to approve the special exception, seconded as well. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 There being no opposed, the motion passes. You're welcome. Congratulations.
Good luck.
Good luck with those sweet babies and your business. Thank you. It's a much-needed business. It's a much-needed.
So, Ms. Stevenson, we will get something official on letterhead, and I'll get it sent to you, because I know you'll need something to give to DSS, I assume. Yeah, so, and then just one last thing. Hopefully you do get approved, but just remember you'll need to come get your business license through the town when. Perfect. And Ms. Sharon, who you saw today, she'll be able to help you with that.
And just a note in order, we'll need that information from DSS in order to issue that business license. Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations. Good luck on all hoop jumping.
Yeah.
It sounds like you got a little bit more left to do.
It is, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Stevenson. Have a good evening.
You too.
All right, is there any other business?
Just to wish Daniel, give him my appreciation for his service here, and wish him the best in Spruce Pines, North Carolina. And hope you leave on memories, and
At least of the BZA.
yeah.
That's
I ain't putting anybody out here. This is within this, but thank you for your service. And
I-
appreciate what you've done also with the Park Foundation. And
I appreciate it. Yeah, I wished it would have been longer. I think there's probably an understanding of everything, but I appreciate all y'all. I've enjoyed working with the groups here and BZA and BAR, and even though despite some challenges here and there, it's all been good. Planning Commission, but Kirk will be handling meetings for you in the future until they figure out what their next steps are, and y'all just have to take it easy on them. Make sure he gets the right dates
I will.
on there. But I
You're right.
appreciate it.
thank you again.
Thank you, Ed.
It's funny because I come to these meetings and this is about the only time I ever see you guys, so, but it's always been, communication has always been good. I really appreciate it, keeping us informed, and I wish you the best. And we'll try to be good with Kirk and drive him nuts.
There you go.
With all the other insanity that's going on around here.
echo all of that too, Daniel. Thank you for everything. You've
Sure.
been wonderful to work with, and we really do appreciate it. And Kirk, we're here with you. We'll give you the grace that you need, I promise you. Yeah, we promise you, So, do we have a motion?
I so
No, no, no,
moved to
Thank
adjourn.
you, thank you. Motion made to adjourn, seconded, meeting adjourned.